What legacy would you like to leave? As part of the Legacy Society, your gift supports the future of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. By participating in the planned giving process, you can be assured that when you leave this earth, your charitable gift will continue to support this apostolate and its mission of connecting people to Christ. If you're interested in including Iowa Catholic Radio as part of your charitable gift planning, call me, Belle Marasco, at 515-223-1150. Thank you for your prayerful support.
The Catholic Morning Show.
So wonderful to have you with us, friends, here on the Catholic Morning Show. There's so much you can do this summer where you can make faith be a part of your life, but when you can do that with baseball as well, it's hard to beat. So when we can have an opportunity like one coming up on August 2nd, this Sunday, the Faith and Family Day at the iCubs here in Des Moines, that's something you should make sure to maybe see if you can get on your calendar. But we have an even more special reason that you should go there, because First Encounter Band is going to be playing, and we have members of that band here with us today, Emily Schmidt and Andy Baumert, talking about why this is such a wonderful opportunity, not only for the band themselves, but everybody who gets a chance to be a part of this Sunday's Faith and Family Day at iCubs Park. Emily and Andy, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, well, let's hear first about this band. If you're not familiar with First Encounter, tell us about yourselves, the band. What sort of music you play?
Yeah, First Encounter is a band that started out of Saint Pius in the fall of 2014, primarily doing First Friday Adoration nights. And we just kind of grew and incorporated some musicians from other parishes. Continuing, our main event is still the First Friday Adorations. We do that in the fall and the spring. We take a break in the summer. But then we have been invited to do various other events around the diocese as well. One big event we did a few summers ago was we opened for Matt Maher at the Night Fire event in West Des Moines. So we do praise and worship, contemporary worship music. That's kind of our jam, and we really have fun doing it.
Wonderful. So you two obviously as well, but who else is in the band, and what sort of instruments does everybody play?
Well, Emily's the leader of the band. She is a keyboard player, very good guitar player too, and lead vocalist. I play bass guitar and stand in the back.
Nice.
He's our foundation.
That's right.
The bass player is the foundation.
Pete Hack, singer, guitar player, piano player. Brian Werner, guitar player. Carol Stark and Ryan Bettany are our singers, and Sean Finn is our drummer. So put together the right instruments. Interesting thing for me, I'm the old guy, and I'm the least musically trained. And so, if you want to get better at something, play with people who are better than you.
Right.
And fortunately for me, everybody's better than me.
You're one of the biggest beneficiaries of the band.
That's right.
Well, so how long have you guys been a band? And of course, you got to hear some of the things that you've been doing, but that's always to be able to train on the side and be able to open for people as they come through, or this opportunity with the iCubs we're going to talk about in a second. So, what's it been like? How long have you been doing this? And what is if people are inspired for their own band, how did it come about?
I mean, by the grace of God, really.
Right.
I started at Saint Pius in 2014, and at the time, the pastor at the time, Father Dave Fleming, he had wanted to start this kind of mass where we incorporated some more contemporary music, knowing that was kind of popular amongst young people at the time. And so I had that experience working in Arizona. That's a very common musical style at the churches there. So I had that experience. So I grabbed a few people. It was Carol Stark and Ryan Bettany at the time that were at Saint Pius, and we just started with the three of us. Andy joined us a little bit later, Sean as well, and then we just decided to do these First Friday nights as well to kind of help more establish that kind of music and teach people how to use it liturgically a little bit more. And then, eventually, I don't remember exactly when, but Pete and Brian they're from St. Luke's, and we discovered them, and they just started coming down from Ankeny, and at some point we just became a cohesive band, but I can't pinpoint the exact time, but that's where God just worked through us and worked for us.
I've been part of the choir at St. Pius, since the early 2000s, singing, and then started playing bass there. And it really is a privilege and this is for any church musician or church singer, you get the privilege of playing at Mass. There's this marvelous mystery of the Holy Eucharist, and you get to be in the vicinity of that and add this little gift that you can that you can prepare and present this bit of music. It's a real privilege. And because of Emily's work, we've been able to expand our interest in music to, still a sacred Christian arena of praise and worship music. It's not necessarily always music you'd play in the context of a mass, but it's definitely Christ-centered, and it lets you stretch out a little bit more as a musician into a different area. It's been a real blessing.
Well, you out there listening, we all have talents that, maybe we think, we're not going to be able to utilize them, or it's just something fun I'm doing on my own. But you will be surprised that when you offer up and make available what you're good at and what you love doing, how the Lord is able to take those things and bring them to a sort of prominence in your life that you didn't even expect. And today on the show, we're talking with Emily Schmidt and Andy Baumert, who are members of the First Encounter Band. And the exciting thing is you guys are going to be playing at a baseball game, August 2nd, this Sunday, Faith and Family Day at iCubs Stadium. So how did that come about? How did the iCubs even get an ear to listen to your stuff and ask you to come play?
Yeah, I got a call from a good friend, Julie Nelson, who is, on Catholic radio as well. And she just said, hey, we're looking for a praise and worship band to play at the iCubs game for Faith and Family. Would your band be interested? And I said, I think so, because we have a lot of baseball fans, first of all, nice. In the band. And I was like, I think we could do that. And so got the consensus from the band and got connected. And that was it's very simple how we got connected with this. We're very honored to be asked, for sure.
Did you Take Me Out to the Ball Game or any baseball themed songs in your repertoire?
I do know Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Okay, just in case. And on that note, what can fans expect? What's the performance going to be like? Like, when does it take place? Just some of the details like that.
Yeah, we're going to start around noon, and we're going to be in the concourse behind home plate before the game. So the game's, I believe, at 1:08. So we're going to be like 12 to 12:45 before the game. We're going to do some songs that we think we're really good at, do our best repertoire. But it's going to be a good mix of like hype songs like, you can jump up and down to, clap to. But then we're also going to do a few like just good praise songs that we can pray together, pray with each other, pray with the community there. So that we can honor that time and that space. And truly, I think in my mind, that's like brings the sacramentality to the place that we can encounter God in even a baseball stadium.
And so speaking on that note, so this is at the baseball stadium, you said behind home plate. So noon, this is before the game starts, and the game starts afterwards.
It is before the game. Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure to come early,
yes,
to be able to hear the music and enjoy
and
the
it's
entire.
in the concourse, so we'll be out of the sun.
Right.
We won't be. So it'll be a nice place to stay cool, hopefully too.
Well, folks, there's so many things you can do this summer and stay cool in various venues. But if you want to enjoy the outdoors, if you want to enjoy something like baseball, but enjoy celebrating your faith, you get an opportunity this Sunday, August 2nd, at iCubs Stadia here in Des Moines, Faith and Family Day, and we are talking with Emily Schmidt and Andy Baumert about their band First Encounter, who gets a chance to play, as you just heard, at noon before the crack of the bats start soon after. So, before we let you guys go, faith being a part of music, of course, anyone who knows the history of the church or just the history of Western music, that these two things go together in a very intractable way. But for both of you personally, what is it about faith and music that's so important to you, and why it is that to get these opportunities like this is, as it were, very natural outgrowth of both your faith and your musical talents?
Yeah. I believe that the ministry that we do at church is meant to grow the gifts within us that then we can take out of the church and be apostles, essentially. And so this is a natural outreach and more of an apostolate where we are evangelizing to people who maybe have never been in a church, or maybe have never been in a Catholic church. And so they can be like, oh, this is a Catholic band. This is a Christian band. Oh, hopefully they see the joy in us, and that produces fruits in the world.
Playing music in church, singing in church in a choir, in a certain number of ways, it's like when I was a kid being an altar server. You have a specific role, a specific set of tasks that you have to that you're in charge with. But you're not the center of attention. You want to make the attention be focused on the altar and on the priest. It's not my congregation, it's the priest's congregation. But at the same time, we get to share in God's creation in all kinds of ways, and making music is one of those really powerful ways over the many, many centuries of human existence where we can participate in God's creation and create something beautiful. Maybe it's only 2 or 3 minutes of music at certain times during the Mass, but if it adds to the beauty of what's already the most beautiful thing, the Eucharist, well, gosh, that's a real privilege. And then events like the one at the Iowa Cubs on Sunday, okay, now you get to stretch out a little bit, and maybe your background is in rock and roll music and you're used to playing to people in bars. Well, now you can stretch out a little bit, turn up the amplifier a little louder, and if you're Sean the drummer, you can let it rip.
Yeah.
And that's just a joy and fun. Maybe we spend a lot of time practicing and performing, and sure, that's a sacrifice that we offer. Our families make the same sacrifice. Our spouses and our kids, we'd like to sit with them at Mass on Sunday, but we're up in the choir area, and so those are my wife, everybody else's spouse and family. They're a contributor to this music ministry as well, and gosh, I really honor that.
Now, how often do you guys practice? Right, practicing, of course, being a very central thing for musicians. Yeah. So, what's that look like?
Oh, gosh.
About half as often as I should.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
It's like probably not as much as we should. We are doing a few extra rehearsals for this gig, but
Nice.
I think about once a month we get together and jam and exercise those gifts.
And that's part of the fun too, right? I mean, anybody who loves music knows that the rehearsals, they can be hard work sometimes, but if you don't love that part of it, you're not going to get into it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Exactly.
it's fun to be part of a team. It's a football team, baseball team, any kind of a team. Well, a band is a team, and you play off each other's strengths, and you're happy when somebody else sings a really good note or plays a really good note. It inspires you as well. It's fun to be part of a team.
Now, folks, I know many of you, the minute it turns August, that starts meaning summer is quickly waning. We're getting ready for fall and the start of school. So here at the beginning of August, you want to make sure to do one more thing that is as much summer packed into an event as possible, and we have one coming up for you. The weather is supposed to be beautiful on August 2nd, this Sunday, and it's Faith and Family Day at the old ballpark here in Des Moines for the I-Cubs. And as we've been saying, we have the band First Encounter playing at noon. That's before everything starts, and we've been speaking with Emily Schmidt and Andy Baumert, members of the band, about what that looks like. So before we let you two go and let the show go ahead and close, anything else just about this opportunity, or what you want to tell folks if they're thinking, maybe I should go? Any words to make sure to make them be there at the old ball game?
I think any opportunity that we have to just exercise our faith outside of the church building is a great building, and a good old-fashioned baseball game is one of the most American things you can do. So come and show America what we're all about.
Well, yeah, and it's, the old, what Christ said, nobody puts their light under a bushel basket, We have this ministry that we're involved in. Let's take it out into the world. And so we're happy to do that. Hope we play well. I think we're going to.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to seeing everybody and enjoy the time with us at the ball game.
Absolutely wonderful. One more time, join Iowa Catholic Radio for Faith and Family Day with the Iowa Cubs. That is this Sunday, August 2nd, starting at noon at Principal Park in Des Moines. And you will not want to miss it because the band First Encounter kicks things off at noon. Emily and Andy, thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
Join Iowa Catholic Radio for the Daily Gospel Reflection with me, Father Nick Smith, by subscribing to the podcast or listening to the Catholic Morning Show, weekdays at 7 Central here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Encounter Jesus.